I would like to propose that we let our student advisory committee go before our public participation. They've got studying to do and things to get back to, so if we could have the student advisory committee members, our two co-presidents, come and join us right now, that would be great. So we'll have you introduce yourselves, please, and welcome.
My name is Sal Najjar.
Turn it on, Sal.
Perfect. My name is Sal Najjar, and I'm one of the co-presidents for the BSAC this year.
My name is Heidi, and I am also one of the co-presidents for the committee this year.
All right, so we would like to give you an update on our work for the rest of this year, and a lot of that is a continuation from last year. The first thing that we'd really like to focus on is we spent the bulk of last year developing a video that we've named Beaverton School District Voices. And the idea of this video is to create inclusion within the school district. It's a culture we want to build. And to do that, the video details 5 students on their lives, their stories, and the hardships that they go through high school and different things like that. And we use the power of storytelling to really create inclusivity within the school district. So we're going to release that video this year, and hopefully through the use of Freshman Link Crew every year, we'll repeat that video. On top of that, we are building our Humans of BSD Instagram, and that is an Instagram that truly highlights students within the district and their work and what they do. Additionally, we're going to create a new Instagram to communicate with the students of the district. We're going to run polls and see how they feel about different issues, things like the Student Success Act and other issues that affect underrepresented minorities and students in the district in general.
So the last 2 meetings, we've had 2 meetings so far. In the last one, we elected officers, and we have a new officer, which is the social media, and that was something new. We didn't have that last year, and I think that's going to be great. In the last meeting, we also talked with David Williams about the Student Success Act, and he was able to hear firsthand from like 15 students about our opinions on struggles that we face in the district, and I thought that was really insightful. And we will be voting on whether we want to focus on mental health specifically or inclusivity, or do both, and see how we're going to tackle that this year.
And finally, this year we have one of the most diverse groups that I've ever seen, truly. So I do want to commend the principals at each school for openly making those choices. And that's it from us. Thank you.
One comment? Sure. I just wanted to mention that there's also a middle school boundary committee member. Her name is, hopefully I won't not mess it up too badly, Ratika Saripali. Close enough, hopefully. Anyway, I want to congratulate her because she's going to be participating, representing the Student Advisory Committee on the middle school boundary process.
Well, we thank you guys for being here tonight, taking time to hear busy schedules, and the board looks forward to a meeting with you soon so we can get to know you better and you can get to know us. But thank you so much for being here this evening. Appreciate it. All right, they're going to start public participation, and just a couple things. As you can see, we have a full house, and so we have lots of people that would like to speak. Vice Chair Eric Simpson will be calling your name. He'll call the person that's going to come up to the table here. If you'll press the button there so we can hear you, and then he'll also call the next person up so you can be ready and willing to go. If we recognize that there's a lot of people that are here to talk about a lot of the same topics, and if you want to combine or if you want to provide us written testimony, we can take that also at the same time. So what we're going to do is there'll be 2 minutes, and we're going to keep you to the 2 minutes so that everybody can get an opportunity to do that. So we'll call time on you, and also we will not be answering your questions here tonight, or we'll get back to you at a different time. So if you would like to fill out a card, we have cards out there. But again, if you see someone that's already saying something that you're saying, we encourage you to combine. We have some students that would like to speak tonight, and because we do know that they need to get home and get back to their studies and that sort of thing, we're going to call on them first. So, but thank you so much for being here this evening and for sharing your thoughts with us. So with that.
Here we go. We have 50 cards tonight. So we'll start out with Jordan Garrett and followed by Jen Hunt.
Hello. My name is Jordan Garrett, and I'm a senior at Aloha High School. I'm drum major of the Aloha High School marching band. I started band at Mountain View Middle School. I had just transferred from California and was nervous to enter a new school. Band gave me a place to make friends and learn real-life skills like practicing and teamwork. 6th grade band was offered every day, but that was quickly changed for my 7th and 8th grade band class. Not having daily band made it hard to progress at the same rate that I had in 6th grade with daily band. It felt like I wasn't getting anywhere, and that was not fun. In 8th grade, I almost quit, but my mom made me stay in. In the last 6 years, I've participated in band class, jazz band, pit orchestra, pep band, and I've been a mentor in Band Rocks. Band has inspired me to be a more responsible student, to take on a leadership role, and help other band kids to succeed. I am currently being considered for early admissions to multiple universities due to my hard work with music. I plan to attend a university here in the Northwest. Music has given me direction, purpose, and self-confidence. I've been watching for the last 4 years since Mountain View's program was cut. In fact, 4 years ago, I spoke at a board meeting to ask for help at Mountain View. I want to thank the school board tonight for giving clear objectives about the new middle school schedule. Daily band and choir taught by full-time directors will help future middle schoolers to have the same amazing and positive experience that I had in 6th grade and that I wish I had in 7th grade. Thank you.
Looks like your card said yes and no, but well, Jen, you're up. Jen Hunt, followed by David Thomas.
Okay, hi, nice to meet you. Okay, hi, my name is Jen Hunt, and I am a parent and a volunteer at Fir Grove. I know that you're going to hear stories from parents here about lack of funds, lack of services, large class sizes, and most of all, bullying. In Fir Grove, kids are afraid to go to school. But I'm here to talk from the standpoint of a teacher. I volunteer often in one particular kindergarten class. And some of the things I've witnessed this year are astounding, such as I watched a student remove a pencil sharpener from the wall and slam it down on the teacher's foot. I've been asked on 2 separate occasions while in this class to help entertain the kids because there was an unruly child who needed to be removed from the classroom. That's a really tough situation for a volunteer. This kid was flailing around the room, throwing books, throwing crayons. I've watched while this teacher has had to call for a joiner twice to help calm or remove a child from her class. And this is all going on while we're losing funding and losing hours for our paraeducators in our school. We really need. In speaking with this teacher, I was told that she, this month, has been physically assaulted and she's been stomped on and she's really having a hard time controlling her class. There's 27 kids in that class. When my son was in that class 2 years ago, there were 18. I know you guys like numbers, so I'm going to go with my numbers real quick. I asked this teacher to give me a breakdown of the kind of reprimands she was doing in class. This is a 9-day period that she covered for me. Hitting and kicking 108 times. Children pretending to shoot or kill others 105 times. Pushing or shoving forcefully 68 times. Other physical aggressive behavior towards others 76 times. Defiant behavior 71 times. Headbutting or choking 12 times. Children who have pulled their student from school in this kinder class, so far 1. I know of 2 other families who are trying to leave our school. We really need help. We need funding. Our principal is up against the wall and really working hard. We really need your help. Thank you for your time.
We have David Thomas, followed by Rhea Tamong. Yeah.
Sorry. We got there were some students.
Thanks, Carl, for that stories.
Sorry.
All right, Doris.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the school board. My name is David Thomas. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm a parent of 1 BSD graduate, now a college sophomore, and 4 current BSD students in high school, middle school, and elementary school. I'd like to speak to you tonight about the health curriculum. One of the main purposes of teaching health is to keep our students and children safe. Protecting all children, including those who may experience gender dysphoria, means giving them accurate, health-conscious, low-risk information that can be processed and acted upon safely by the child receiving the information. Instead, we are currently giving them unproven, ideology-based, politically hijacked, high-risk information. Why? I don't know the answer to that question. The question is for you. Are you aware that there are now thousands of former transgender men and women actively working to tell their stories so that youth will understand the gravity of this ideology and the consequences of the choices they face? Are we going to include these stories in the health curriculum? If not, why not? Excluding them is not only reckless in regard to our children's health, but discriminatory of what is now a growing segment of the transgender community. Every generation has to fight bullying and help children who feel like they don't fit in. Do you realize that this effort is now being hijacked by a political movement that has little to no regard for the health consequences to our children? Can you see the terrible irony in teaching as part of our health curriculum an ideology not based in scientific fact that will encourage some children to make changes to their bodies that have a high risk of health complications for their entire lives? Perhaps you identify and understand with the parents who are desperately concerned, but you feel like this is above your pay grade. On a school board, my message to you is it is not. Please make your voice heard and help us to establish a fact-based health curriculum. Thank you.
Name, followed by Heidi Eggert.
Hello, I'm Ria Tamang. I'm a junior at Beaverton High School, and I'm here to represent Resolution 5272, a resolution to implement a plan for climate literacy. At a time when the science of global warming has warned governments around the world to begin redefining our economics and the urge of climate crisis, it is time for school districts to redefine what it means to educate students for a future of studying climate change. It is essential that in the classroom, students learn the causes and consequences of the climate crisis, as well as possible solutions. From pre-K through 12th grade, students should become climate literate. I want the Beaverton School District to have a strategy for helping district educators to develop and to implement curriculums on the climate crisis. Beaverton School District should commit itself to providing teachers, administrators, and other school personnel with professional development, curricular materials, and outdoor field studies that explore the causes and consequences of the climate crisis, as well as potential solutions that address the root causes of this crisis, and do so in a way that is participatory, imaginative, and respectful of students' and teachers' creativity and eagerness to be a part of addressing global problems. On a regular basis, Beaverton School District will sponsor activities that bring together teachers, students, and members of the community who are working for a future free of fossil fuels and for just solutions to the climate crisis, to share knowledge, resources, curriculums, and opportunities for students to be active in responding positively to the climate crisis. Thank you.
Followed by Anchor Mookie.
Hi there, I'm Heidi Eggert. I'm a parent at Raleigh Hills. I have a 5th grade daughter and a 1st grade son at Raleigh Hills. Here to just express my first gratitude for your service. I've only been here for 25 minutes and already I've heard some very weighty topics that this board has to deal with, so thank you for your service. The recent decision to change Raleigh Hills from a K-8 to a K-5 school is concerning to me and to a number of parents at the school. I totally understand that there are a variety of option schools, perhaps too many option schools in the Beaverton School District, and if this change in direction for Raleigh Hills is part of a larger strategy, I would love to better understand what that strategy is. If it's not part of a larger strategy, I would be happy to volunteer to help be part of a committee that's looking at the option school challenges. I work at Nike. We deal with the exact same situation and products and resources and are constantly trying to figure out how do we invest in places that our consumers are going to want to support and grow. So my first question is wondering whether this is part of a larger strategy. The second concern I share is related to the communication and the way that the information was shared. We received an email I was at a recent PTO meeting where there were a number of Spanish-speaking families who were finding out for the very first time at the PTO meeting by hearing from the translator that the school had changed in scope and capacity. They said they didn't have access to email and had not even heard until that moment that the school was changing. So, and for all of you out there in the crowd, thank you for waiting with us.
First thing I'm going to do is apologize to them because I said, hey, you come there at 6:37 o'clock, we'll get you in, we'll get you out. Because I know how busy these ladies are, so I don't know what that's going to cost me. Anyway, we have Jasmine and Leah before us, and they're two classroom teachers. They co-chair the Superintendent's Advisory Committee meeting. So in addition to chairing the meeting and organizing the structure of that meeting and everything, they also come in on their own time after school, and they sit down with David Williams and Maureen and whoever may be there, and they help set the agenda. And what I can tell you is, wow, I wish I had some kids still to go through school and have them in their class, because they are two of the most amazing teachers I've ever seen. And yes, they're teaching adults, but sometimes teaching adults can be more difficult than teaching children. They're here to talk to you just a little bit about the Superintendent's Advisory meeting, but I think we're making some big headways talking about issues that are facing teachers and other staff members in our school every day.
Yes, thank you for that introduction. I'm Olivia Taylor. I have been with the district for 12 years. I teach at Bonnie Slope Elementary, and I'm a proud member of that staff. I have been there since we opened, and we've been through a lot. I teach 4th grade and have had a variety of other roles, but this committee is probably the one that I'm most proud of.
Awesome. Hi everyone, I'm Jasmine Locke. This is my 4th year teaching. It's my 4th year at Stoller Middle School. I teach 8th grade humanities. And first, before I jump into who I'm going to speak first or share first, Dawn, David, and Maureen, I just want to say thank you for empowering teachers and staff to be hands-on involved with a lot of the things that are going on in our district. So the thank you is reciprocated. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into, this is the first time that we've spoken in front of the board, so thank you for having us here. I'm going to kind of start with where we began last year, and then Aaliyah will follow up with where we currently are. So the Superintendent's Internal Advisory Council is a selected group of positive, passionate, solution-based staff members representing a variety of certified and classified roles across the district. We come from schools of all shapes, sizes, and age ranges, and are determined to strive for the best education for all students. While we are a sounding board at times for Superintendent Grotting, we are determined to represent all voices to inform and drive district work and initiatives. The committee strives to strengthen the common school experience by data mining to inform the highest area of needs for our students. We kicked off our work together in the winter of 2019 by digging into district data to familiarize ourselves with the makeup of district students and staff. By May of 2019, we had gone through the district's demographics, HR data, the district report card, and our staffing data. We brought in Sue Robertson and used David, Maureen, and Dawn as well to answer in-depth questions. Additionally, we discussed and addressed staffing concerns and needs as the budget decisions were looming. We ended our work last spring addressing 2 things. The first, looking at the job description for the Administrator of Equity Inclusion position, and giving feedback to Superintendent Grotting about our concerns, hopes, and dreams for what this position would include. As well as, number 2, identifying our areas of focus, experts in the room. It's really important to us that we bring forth other committee members. It's not just us leading, but we are all leading together in the 2019-2020 year to bring forth those voices. Overwhelmingly, we found that this group of professionals wanted to kick off our year work this year by focusing on the social emotional learning of our students across the district.
Our current focus is examining Our current focus is examining the latest in the cell realm, as much of our colleagues around the district are doing the same. Our committee is diving into the latest research and district data to help support our students beyond the realm of academia. We started this work earlier this month with the support of one of our members, Emily O'Quinn, who brought forth state and county data from the Student Wellness Survey. With this data, the committee's focus was looking at mental and emotional health, such as depression, suicide ideation, the psychological distress that our students are facing on a daily basis. After data mining, we shared out ahas, wonderings, and a lot of deep concerns. and made a plan to gather more district-specific information from experts such as Angela Hilo, who will be joining us in November. Our committee continues to work to strengthen the support and success of all teachers and all students, but it is specifically and intentionally looking at our staff and students of color, as well as our underrepresented and marginalized groups. We believe that we are stronger together and have hope that this work will continue the conversation and actions around the equitable outcomes in our district. Thank you.
I told you to do that.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions? Susan?
I just want to thank you for stepping up and taking these roles, and I'm very excited that you both are doing it. It sounds like you're doing really important work that needs to be done, and I appreciate you stepping up.
And just to let you know, I'm trying to talk a lead into it, but Jasmine is currently in an administrator program, and as we try to diversify not only our teacher workforce, to diversify our administrator workforce, and she's going to do great things.
Thank you again for being with us so late this evening. We have a classroom to get back to, so thank you again.